Thank you, Dale. I would like to invite my friends up, and in no particular order, but there's definitely an order. I would like to invite Chris. Chris is not single, so ladies, just calm it down. He's another redheaded accountant. He's from Melbourne, and he also has a solution that isn't a sponsor, called Herobook. I would like to then invite up Miss TikTok herself, Natalie.
Second, yay.
Second. Natalie's a local girl. She's going home this evening, so she won't be at the afters. If you don't know about the after party, come and see me. Third, Peter Johnson from Advisors Digest. He did live down in Sydney until he came up to a SMSFA event on the Gold Coast, spent a night with me, and now he lives on the Gold Coast. Like that. And fourth and final, Renee. You coming up? Thank you, Renee. Oh yeah, there's my. Renee and Nat are very last minute additions to this panel, so they've really planned as much as I have for this. Alright, so this is a bit of an off-the-cuff conversational piece. Talking about the observations, and honestly from my point of view, talking about the stuff that always comes up on the group. Anonymous posts or not, I know a lot of people don't like them. I'm okay with them because I look at who posts those anonymous, who are the repeating anonymous posters. Nat doesn't like them in her group.
No.
And it's always the same kind of vibe of people, that you can sense that there's, there could be some of you in here now, that, I don't know if it's confidence, if it's just personality types or whatever, they always have a theme about them, always have a vibe about them. So that's why, honestly, people can complain and go on about not putting your name behind a post that calls something out, but people need that anonymous ability in order to be strong, be brave. And I think there's enough people out there, like, looking at Amanda, Sonia, you as well, that you have businesses built on making the industry braver. And let's explore that, because I think the Facebook group has done a lot to make nearly 8,000 people a lot braver than what they probably were pre-pandemic. Renee, I have no idea where that question would go to. Yeah, do we open up to, because it is a Q&A, would we like an open forum? I normally hate open forum audience interaction, but guess what, Mum? Sorry, Mum, I'm doing it. So is Alex, no, Andy Wang. For those who don't know Andy's from Adelaide. I couldn't do this last year, so I put Andy's name up. He has more speaking gigs today than what I do. Like, don't replace me. Andy, do you have a thought-provoking question for the Brains Trust up here? Oh, you've got to, if you want to ask a question, you've got to come up because there's feedback in the speakers. Yeah. No, everyone's coming up.
We're getting one now to join.
My question for the panel would be, we have people in the Brains Trust, and there's people who are afraid to ask questions, there's people who just ask questions and don't respond. Everyone here offer a lot of value on the panel. And for the people who might not feel like they've got value to offer, what would your advice to them be? Like, someone might be thinking, hang on, it takes time to do that. But everyone here has given so generously with their knowledge and time. What would your advice to people be to promote more of that?
In terms of doing it, for me it's really lucky because it's my hobby. I'm as autistic as they come, and when I got free time I read sections and drink wine, and so...
Sections of the act. Various acts. Sections.
In fact, I was going to limit today to a number of those divisions and subdivisions. But you learn yourself. I don't mean, I don't know if anyone really has ever seen me on the group and posted, but sometimes a question will come up and I say, that's a good question. I want to answer that because I want to know. And so I'll find the answer and then I'll answer it. And people go, oh wow, that's pretty good. But all I did was what you all should be able to do, and that is the answer's there. It's not AI, I guarantee you that. I subscribed to an AI service for 3 months, but it was worse than I was at finding things. It was a lot easier to go to the legal database with the ATO and the search what you wanted than it was to put a question in the AI service, so they've got a long time to go. But doing it yourself and having the confidence, get out there and have a go. We all get it wrong, I mean, half of them are wrong, but have a go.
Follow-up question, Pete. How do you like it when people say you're wrong?
I really hate it.
Are you ever wrong?
I'm always wrong. I've been married a number of times, so I'm used to always being wrong. And so I'm fine with it eventually, except when I'm not. So, yeah, I don't like being told I'm wrong.
I'd like to add something to Andy's question about people feeling they don't have something to add or feeling like they need to post anonymously. I think sometimes when you've been in the industry for quite some time and people here have different levels of experience, often you forget the challenges that like a junior staff member in that's facing. So I think if you feel you don't have something to add, you still do by asking that question, because it might be for like a director of a firm. They might realise, hey, are my junior staff struggling with this? We do a section in my firm around what did you learn, and it's just a Google chat, and we just put in there, I encourage all my staff to put something in there, whether that's how to open a shortcut on a computer or something deep in the tax legislation. What did you learn this week? And so often I find a topic on the Facebook group and go into detail and answer it, or see what other people have answered and put it in that channel for the benefit of my whole team. So yeah, I don't think I think everyone has something to add, even if you feel like your knowledge is insignificant compared to the rest of the group.
Pete, I'm about to cancel my subscription to Advisor's Digest. There's print off CPD certificates, my whole team knows nothing to do.
I thought you saw Joyce walk
Yeah,
in.
I saw Joyce is
cancelling because I'm going to tax nuggets.
Has everyone met Joyce? Joyce, can you stand up while you have a mouthful of food, please? The parody song queen of our industry.
Oh, yes, yes.
Right. Nat?
I think to add to that would be, being an accountant for over 20 years, and what I've realised is most of us don't know Tax Act back to front. I don't know, maybe you do, Pete. You might be the only one. And so we need to just remember that. And I guess like the lawyers, you go and speak to a tax lawyer, and usually they say, well, hold on, let me get the Tax Act and I'm going to read it, I'm going to go through it. So I don't know why accountants always feel like we have to know the answer to everything all the time, and if we don't, we're less than. So I think just to remember that.
Deep.
I bring the deep thoughts sometimes.
I will probably just add that sometimes there's no such thing as a stupid question if sometimes some people think they are, because that's how everybody learns, and at the end of the day, it's better off they put out, regardless of whether it's anonymous or not, whether they ask the question, because then they're out there ready wanting to learn rather than not asking and making mistakes.
Peter has some FBT exemption advice for everyone. Pete?
Okay, so a few things that are really important to understand for fringe benefits tax, because I need a new car and I've just been working out what I should get, and it's come down. Sorry.
Electric.
Well, of course, but also not electric. So two things I've discovered today. One is that the new electric combi comes in at about $500 below the luxury limit.
Hang on. Luxury or depreciation cost limit?
Luxury, so FBT exempt. You still only get to depreciate the 66 grand, but there's no FBT, right? It's not meant to be a technical session, but we'll leave it at that. But the other thing that's important to know is that the Toyota Hi-Ace Crew Cab only has a load carrying capacity of 975 kilograms. What does that mean, folks? It's a car.
Oi. What does that mean? It's a car?
No, they're meant to be asking the question.
Yeah.
There. So yeah, it's a car. It's not, well, a high ace is not a car. I don't know what it is. It's a high ace, but it's not a car. But a high ace crew cab is a car. So when all your clients buy high aces now, half of them have a low carrying capacity of a tonne, but the other half don't. So half of them are cars and half of them aren't. So good luck.
Chris, you were also car shopping, you mentioned before, or is this throwing you under the bus?
Well, yeah. So, look, something that did come up during the last couple of weeks is around the plug-in hybrid exemption falling off, and there was a bit of a consultation with the ATO around what a binding financial commitment was on that front. So the ATO decided that during their example they were going to say, well, if you buy the car outright, they actually denied a private ruling to say, if you buy it outright, it's not a binding financial commitment. So a few members thought that that was unfair and went back to the ATO to clarify that. And they came back and said, well, we're going to actually update the ATO website accordingly. And that was, they published the update on the group. So, you know, there's a lot of, I guess, not to steal tax nuggets, there's a lot of nuggets on the Facebook group, including tax nuggets. So, yeah, it's a great resource to get into the nitty-gritty with other tax professionals and bookkeepers and advisors alike.
So, Chris, I want to see the stats with all of the Momentum Media. If their hits go up tenfold, if anyone ever shares a link to one of their accountants' daily articles into the group, I'm sure they do. You know people, can you ask that? Because I want to start clipping a ticket.
Are they here?
No.
She was here. They here. Some of them were here before.
Were they? No, I didn't see.
I'll do my best.
Ask them. I want to clip that Murdoch ticket and publish it.
Should ask them to sponsor the group.
Yeah, sponsor drinks. Any app partners want to out there want to sponsor drinks? Christmas? No. All right, next question. Amanda Gaston, your hand is up. No? Oh, yes. No, microphone. You're going to come up here. Feedback. All right, everyone. This is Paul from Easy Business Apps. Back corner. I was wearing one of his shirts today because I give back as much as I take.
You only had a small and you really pulled it off. So, my question was for you in the group. It was about the Facebook group itself. It was about accountants and humour. So, my first experience with accountants, I'm not an accountant by the way, but my first experience with accountants and humour was a long time ago working for a government department. It was 7 p.m. was the first day of the month, and someone had managed to reverse an auto-reversing journal and was having a big meltdown about it. And that was really funny in the accounting team. So I noticed your group has lots of comedy, lots of humour. I wondered what you've learned about accountant's sense of humour running that group.
I would just like everyone to know that wasn't the question we pre-rehearsed, and I think that was by design. I definitely think it's a mental health thing, isn't it? It makes light of it. You can tell the posts that have infinite amount of, that have a lot more interactions are the ones that are self-deprecating. And people are just having a laugh about the silly things that they did, that clients did, that they saw, that they heard, you know, the old trial balance that doesn't balance. Like that happens once a month. How does that even happen? But there's people out there that do it. For me, I'm the youngest of 8. 4 boys, 4 girls, 16, 17 year age gap. I think humour has been the coping mechanism for being in a big Catholic family where there's been 5 redheads. So, yeah. Guys, would you like to contribute to that? Jovialness. No, Matt?
I think for me, I've always thought I was a little bit funny, but I've always thought my humour is not really for everybody. But I think during COVID, it was a coping mechanism, right? I was like, if the world's ending, I don't really care what anyone thinks. And so I started making these funny videos on TikTok. And that's where it sort of, all began. And now I've just continued that on. But yeah, it's a coping mechanism because we deal with some really heavy stuff, right? Sometimes you know, we're in the thick of it. We're dealing with clients that are struggling, losing their businesses. We're dealing with ATO. That in itself, like, I'm surprised we're not all alcoholics, to be honest.
Pete and I have just gone through a cyclone.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
and cyclones.
we are.
Yeah.
We are alcoholics.
So yeah, I think it's an outlet that we use.
Renee also went through the cyclone. Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sunny Coast, all exposed areas.
Are you okay?
DM me, Hunt.
I would probably say, well, that same style of humour runs through my office rampantly, so I think it definitely is an accountant thing because, and I think like Natalie said, it's a coping thing. Like, it's how we get through the day, the week, deal with all the making the each other.
I think as a probably an industry attracting talent, like if you don't have a personality and you're good at math, you're an engineer. We all knew that in this room 20, 30 years ago. If you're average at math, but you don't, and you could be a lawyer, but you don't want to be a lawyer, and you got some personality, that's accounting. I don't know why the professional bodies haven't put that on a shirt.
Do it.
I will do it.
Venn diagram.
A Venn diagram, yeah. Personality. What were they? We're recording this, aren't we?
We were mostly doing it math subjects.
Oh, I pulled out of all my math subjects and just did creative subjects, except for economics. All right, open floor question. Don't make me pick people out. I know half of you. Nicole, what day is it today? You're going to have to come up to the mic. So everyone knows Nicole Lynch. She's it's this day. She's got the toilet paper that says what it is. Nicole also only wears red. What day is it today?
I'm actually going to tell you what day it is tomorrow so you can prepare. Tomorrow is Smart and Sexy Day, so I think that covers all of us. Tax office, not sexy. STP, not sexy. But we're really smart, so that sort of covers it. But my actual question is, what's the promo code?
If that got a round of applause, that means people were here waiting for that, and I'm really embarrassed that I didn't think of it. The promo code is, Pete, you got one of those cards?
Yeah.
Is Amanda got? There's an after party across the harbour. Come up and get one of those promo codes. Okay, Joyce, hand is up. What song? Oh, here you go. Audience participation. Does anyone have a song that they would like Joyce to interact on, to parody? Be anything that she hasn't already done. Sorry?
Do you want me to sing? Do you want me to rap? Yeah. I'm writing a song and I've got the first few lines ready.
Can we, what's it called when like, brainstorm your next verse of your parody song? Do not go to that stage. Don't want to be in that stage. Joyce, come on. Please. So what is it? What's it in the style of?
So it's Coolio's Gangster's Paradise, but obviously it's accounting paradise, and I have not practiced this at all. I literally just wrote it. Yeah, I can give you the first few verses.
Do you want me to get it up in Spotify?
No. Like, I won't be able to follow the rhythm. Just give it a second. Anyway, here goes nothing. As I walk through the office with my laptop in hand, I take a look at the books and make a tax saving plan. Cause I've been crunching and counting so long that even the ATO thinks my judgment's strong. But I ain't never dodged a tax that wasn't legit. But my TV's for work, you know that's unheard of. You better watch out what you're claiming or what you're hiding, or you and your homies might be caught in front. I really hate to trip, but I gotta nudge. Got my 85%, it's more than a slump. Oh, chasing your receipts, that just ain't right. On my knees in the night, saying prayers till it's midnight. Been spending all my life living in the county paradise. just the gist of it. Look forward to the full version. There's going to be some bloody worms as well from Brett Slazay. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, anyway. And whoever else wants to come and be in the video, come and join the Facebook group.
I did not expect that at all, everyone. So that was thoroughly more entertaining than what I thought.
Planned, was it?
That was not planned.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Joyce. Woo, woo.
All right, I'm going to pick other people's name out. People that live locally to me. No? No, Helen? Okay. From my favourite, from one of my favourite app solutions of that's exhibiting, ATO Mate, Maz. Does everyone know Maz?
Yes.
Does everyone have a wheel card because of Maz's previous life?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, we do. Maz currently works at ATO Mate.
And Wheel is a very good product as well, still, even though I'm at ATO. It's not just on the Facebook page that you guys have, or any of the social media platforms that you have. It's all of them. Somebody will ask a question, and it'll be quite serious. You'll get one answer, and then you'll get somebody 2 seconds later giving you a completely different answer. And then somebody else gives you a third answer, which is a combination of the two that you got before, and you go, holy shit. What's the right answer?
Wait till Peter Johnson replies.
What's Stephen drinking?
I was about to say so.
Stephen Drinkwater did want to be here, but he actually copped some proper damage on his olive tree property.
I know it was, but
Yeah, so would be a great addition.
But how do you handle that? Like really, seriously, how do you handle it? Because you're asked, I've done this, or I've asked the question, and that's exactly what's happened to me. And then, so didn't get the answer. So deters you then from wanting to go and ask the question again.
I probably wait to see whether it's through a reference with something legislative, and then I'll go to that point. Whether it's just a spiel, I probably don't take too much credit, or I'll use that as a bite to look further, but otherwise I'll wait for a reference.
Yeah, I think the same. Like, often it's a bit like talking to ChatGPT. You go back to it and say, great, thanks for your opinion. Do you have like a legislative reference for that? Or I was reading over here that sort of contradicts what you're saying, and give them a bit of a screenshot to encourage the discussion. Because then I think you'll find someone else will come on and say, no, I think it's like this, or something like that. And eventually, if you sort of feed the beast, and obviously with the way Facebook and that works, the more comments and likes that the post is getting, the higher it's going to appear on people's feeds, then eventually you'll get the answer you need.
But also, I guess, welcome to our life as an accountant, right? Like accounting is not, and tax is not necessarily black and white. There's so many different factors, and sometimes just putting a question in that group, you can't get everything in there. So then it starts the conversation of, have you thought about this, thought about that? And then you go on from there. So even if you don't get the actual answer, you might get to the direction of where you should go for the next part.
I think you had one, you did it on LinkedIn I should shut up because I can't remember, but you did a video on LinkedIn and that actually brought up some people that agreed with you, and then some people questioned some of the things that you were...
I think it was I think it was a video that I was doing about how I've used Zapier and Fireflies and Zoom and stuff, and then we were having a good discussion about, okay, well, why am I paying for Fireflies and Zoom? If I'm Microsoft, I could be using Teams, and then I could be using OneDrive, but I'm paying for all these other apps. I'm like, well, there's a reason why, and this was walked sort of through it, and then they were like, oh, maybe you should go back and look at this one because they've made these changes here. So I think, the power of just showing up online, whether it's video, like I love to do, or whether it's just commenting, it's our online community, right? Accounting can be quite lonely, and I think that's what this group has helped us to come together collectively and realise we're not alone, and we're not silly if we ask a question that we don't understand. We said before, Renee, there's no dumb questions. Sometimes you just have a dumb day. Sometimes your brain's so full with everything else that you've got going on, you just can't function. Well,
especially us women with mental pause.
I think as well, sometimes it's not a case of replacing, your CPD or your experts in the field. Sometimes it's about getting pointed into the right direction to someone that can solve your problem, even if it means you have to engage them. pay for that service, it might mean that your question is too complex and you need to seek that professional help. And the good thing is you get to know the professionals in the group that can assist you, and without the group you might not be aware of them or the service that they provide.
Where's your mate Sarah? So
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sarah!
Has anyone seen Sarah? She's going to heckle us.
She was going to heckle us. Sarah Lawrence to the main stage.
Right, all of that conversation actually brings me to a proper, serious conversation. I have been very surprised about how disjointed our business model is. And I don't mean business model from like a structuring point of view, which is where we all probably instinctively take that conversation. And directorships, office holders, blah, blah, blah. That our business models are so completely different. And you'd be surprised about what someone has as a tech stack that you'd probably rate their opinion on versus someone else. Like, they'd be completely different. Someone could be like, this made me think of it because Joe just walked in from Pitch. Stand up, do a 12. Like, I'm surprised about how many people still just went, turn on invoicing for clients or their own business. Turn on invoicing, shot. Like they'd be kind of like only using Nescafe for coffee or only drinking Forex Gold in Brisbane for beer. Like, there are so many different variables that, I suppose that's the question, isn't it? We're in a sea of so many different variables about our business models and app stacks and what we could use and what we like and our preferences. Nat, you're a tech head as well. And Chris, you're caught in the crosshairs between being a accounting practitioner and being a dev. Where's the happy medium? Like, where do we actually stop trying to find that ultimate delivery model and programs that we use and just go, well, shit, I actually like what I like, but I don't think you ever could. I think that's the question, isn't it? You never can. I just use the payment gateway function question as an easy one. We would all be using, we'd all be using PayPal if you didn't know any different. But that's by far the worst product, even though they're in bed with QBO. Guys, discuss. Please take it away from me, because I'm going to say something that will get me in trouble.
This is something that we're always discussing in our team. We're 8 years in now, coming up to 8 years into the business. And I feel like we're getting to the stage where, when we first started, we were like, we're always looking to do new things, and there's all these old firms that are just stuck in their ways, just doing what they do. And I feel like we're starting to get into that now, because we're coming up to the 8 years, and we're like, what we're using is working. We don't have time to be looking at the other apps. We're just going to sort of cruise for a bit. But then I come to events like this, and I talk to other accountants, and I hear what they're using. And I don't think I can just sit still and just keep using the same thing. There's so much technology happening with AI. I got told I couldn't say that, but I'm going to sneak it in there.
Yeah, did someone bring in that bottle of tequila for their drinking game? No? That's just water.
But yeah, don't get overwhelmed. Just don't change unless you think it's going to actually assist you. But just always be open to looking at what's out there, because there could be something better, possibly cheaper, around the corner.
We said this over dinner last night, that there's probably I don't know this stuff, but let's just say everyone's using some degree of AI out there, and you know probably better than me. A third of them are saying that they are, the rest of them aren't. So does that mean you just go to the ones that actually have it in their marketing material? I don't know. Does it even matter? Hey.
I don't know anything about business management, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to go back technical and say, everyone, follow Bengal, because all the accountants I know are a company either owned by the individuals or a company owned by a trust. Now we know, if you're a trust with a corporate beneficiary with the UPE...
Bendil. I thought you said Bendil.
Oh, Bendil.
He was here before.
Oh, well,
yeah.
And it was an accounting firm. Now, you have an opportunity, if the tax office go, well, we'll just wear it, because there's not many where the UPEs to the company and the beneficiaries don't have the money. Like, they've all got the money, okay? Whereas in an accounting firm, you don't have the money, your clients have got the money, it's called debtors, and your staff got the money, it's called WIP. So you've got a really good opportunity to go, well, I've got to pick a number, 500 grand accounting firm in a company that's owned by me or a trust or whatever. I could move that goodwill to a trust
Yes, for
Now,
day one of Council Business Expo
yeah,
2025.
328G
Networking
rollover
events are about
relief, so
to
there's
begin
no
at
tax
the area
on moving
in
the
the Expo
goodwill.
hall.
And then I can
See that?
distribute to the company as a UPE if I need to, but on top of that, it's not like 122 where you've got to get the shares as the only consideration. You can lend the money. So the company can owe you the money.
Pete, it's a fun session.
That's fun. This is fun.
Wind him up. I believe the audio guy gets overtime from now on, so please hang around. Renee, do you have anything to add to the app stack? App stack chat.
App stack.
I'm calling it. I'm bringing it up a level. I'm calling it the business model because I think if we just focus on it being an app stack, we're just going, all right. What's our middle spoke? You know, what's our main platform? What's the practice management? Are we doing payroll? Rah rah rah. But why do those things exist? Because we run a business. I'm reframing it. This is why.
Well, for me in my practice, it's something that's always evolving and will continue to. I don't think we'll ever stop and we'll ever stop and go, well, that's what we're working with and that's how it is, because things are just moving too quickly. And I've said to my team for years and years, if there's a better way to do something, I'll move and I'll pivot, obviously considered, but I'm not afraid of change, never have been. So, and I always want to use the best I can. So I think if you just get stuck in it and things are just moving too quickly, and there's so many good products coming around.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think, I guess I sit in a bit of a unique position having an app and a firm. I think that you need to be constantly assessing where you're at, and that's if you've got apps that are not evolving with you. But realistically, you should only be implementing apps if they're saving you time and meeting a need. If they're not solving a problem for you, you shouldn't be implementing it. You shouldn't be changing for the sake of changing. But you should be open to the idea that there is potentially a better app out there. If your app is a remote desktop or a spreadsheet, then you've probably got a better solution out there. Not that we have anything against Excel, because I would never get up in front of a bunch of accountants and bag Excel. But yeah, if that's what you're using, they're probably, or it looks like the software was invented in 1985, then potentially there's a pain point in your business that, you know, junior staff coming in and that sort of thing are going, what is this guy doing? And you need to look at it.
Yeah, the talent attraction of just being not in the past. Yeah, strong. Any other questions? I'm running out of people that I can see that I know. Yeah, of course, bud.
Awesome.
Coming up.
I just want a promo code. Can I have a promo code? No, I did have.
Where'd you get your sports jacket from, Connor or Tarakash?
I actually bought it in Italy.
Oh, snap. Chris, Connie, how are you? Good.
Yourself?
Good.
Sorry. Courtney.
Yeah, come on, guys, it's drink time. Let's
Yeah, the topic you were talking about before was just an interesting one. I did have a question I was going to ask the group more about a resource for everybody that is in the group, where you're talking about you were asking questions, there's common questions, there's potentially people who are experts on those specific fields, whether it's insolvency, accounting, tax law, whatever it might be, having an actual resource for the group that they can go to. Maybe there is one that I haven't seen, and is it like an actual webpage or something that's sort of associated with the group, so bang, right, you're looking for tax advice, one of the
tax nuggets.
The group is sort of like, a lot of people in the group do know certain people who contribute quite a lot and comment quite a lot, but there's also people that come into the group, probably like myself, who sort of not a massive social media user. I will go through and look at the posts, but don't necessarily know who the person that is, the key one to go and ask about that topic. So,
That is, yeah, we're sitting on a resource there that someone's just going to put into a large language model anytime soon. It's not going to be one of us that's sitting in the room, is it? And give you the shits. So how do I do it? I don't know that stuff. So if you come at me, money, that's cool. I'll sell out. I wore 2 shirts today from different vendors. Scott.
How do we...
Oh, you've got to be in the mic.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We can't hand it around. There's too much feedback. Scott Kay, local accountant, probably can't sit still on the entrepreneurial space. Is that fair call? Yeah? Met him for the first time, correct?
met in person for the first time and got a hug immediately, which is nice. But we've messengered and chatted for a couple of years. And you referred me the client, the book club, you know, the book, Australian Pacific Writers Translators. My question to the panel is, how do we collectively work with each other and love each other more so that we can make accountants great again and make Australia great again in terms of the services that we provide to our clients?
I just want to disclaim, joining the group doesn't mean that you'll be getting DMs and hugs.
I think we've got to form another, or take over Prof Body. I think Ray did it exceptionally well 25 years ago, whenever it was. See, young people. Anyone know who Ray Regan is?
It's Ray Regan.
God, he's remember. I
Yeah?
remember.
Yeah.
Who's Ray Regan?
The old, what were they? N2AA?
Yeah, N2AA, the founder.
N2AA guys, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You were at high school.
Renee, you look like you got something to say about, I forget what the question was.
How do we collaborate?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
The community, which is essentially what it is, yeah.
on a smaller scale, so I'm on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, so there's probably a group of female accountant practice owners up there, and we sort of catch up every month. And it's great because previously, you know, a lot of accountants were very silo, and you go to a gala thing and all the lawyers would be there, very social, and the accountants, as soon as they sat next to the other accountant, was like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Because we're all competitors, aren't we? You know, none of us want the same clients. Like if I've gotten 2 clients from Henry in the last week, so just calm it down about Henry. They're only getting people that you don't want, and then it's slowly sorting itself out. And I hope to God that no one is here.
So I think it's that on a larger scale, isn't it? But everyone, it's collaborative.
I'm going to put on my Easy Business app, by the way.
So yeah, that's my answer. Is the better we all are together, and we all put our heads together, we all help each other, we bounce off each other. It sort of makes the community better as a whole. And if that permeates through the industry and wider, then I think all better for us.
Oh, fantastic. I love that stuff. Hey? You can't just sit still. You just can't. But could you imagine just being all sole practitioners or 1 or 2 people and just you wake up, there's your partner. You go to work, there's the same 3 staff or 30 staff. That's your life. Because we're not about to quit our own jobs, are we? We're not. Well, some of us are, and that's obviously the other extreme example of burnout. But I work with my wife, okay? This isn't being recorded. I work with my wife, yeah? I work with my wife, and occasionally, things will be brought home. I'll say, hey, you have no obligation to keep on working with me. That's cool. Like, financially, you can have some time off, get another job, that's cool. Why do I have to quit? Why can't you quit? Have you seen the letters behind my name? I can't quit this thing. I could open up next door and take all your clients if you wanted me to, but I'm not quitting. So we're stuck in these worlds anyway, aren't we? So this is our network.
You're not stuck. It's a sunk cost.
It's a sunk cost. Yeah.
All of your letters, they're sunk costs.
Like, this is our professional organisation, isn't it? That probably listens to us and isn't. I won't say what I was going to say. I'm going to say something about the Big Four.
We're really helping people in what we do. It's important.
All right. Do we have any comments from the audience? Because my beer is not here.
Yeah, it's drink time. Let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
People are leaving.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear Chris before, there is an after party. Well, no, there's not. Not unofficial.
It's unofficial.
But nothing.
Any final comments about the community, guys, who have just roped up in the last 24 hours? 12 minutes.
Thank you, Chris, for creating the community.
No, that's not what I did before, but it does make me feel warm and fuzzy. My fellow moderator is not here. She knew I was going to call her out. So, Karen's been Canberra shy. So. Anything else to the world? This has been very informal, but I still feel like we've held the audience. Oh, Joe from Peach. If you want a free drink, he has the cards. He's paying for it. Yeah, get a card. Get a card. Helen, do you have a question? Okay. Guys, see you at the drinks tonight. He only does Shandong, not the Aussie stuff, the good French stuff. You see, he's all there.
Yeah. Oh, did I just